Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I'd like to show you several options for attaching a larger phone or a tablet to your controller if you're flying the brand new Mavic 3. Now this is a question we get an awful lot from flyers, especially flyers that just bought a brand new drone, and they'll ask us, Rick, we've got the drone, I want to use a larger tablet, how the heck do I attach it to my controller? And over the years we've tested a ton of tablet holders for the older style controllers. When DJI first started making drones that were foldable back in the Mavic Pro days, they used a smaller controller and the arms actually swung out from the bottom and you could slide a phone in there, and if you were clever, you could actually get a tablet as large as an iPad mini in those arms as well. And we also developed a couple of tablet holders that slid in there and simulated a phone, but actually held a larger tablet. The challenge was when DJI went to this brand new, we call it a Gen 2 controller, everything changed because those tablet holders, in most cases, were really hard to mount on the top of this unit. Plus, it was a different clamping system. It's now on the top of the unit. It expands pretty wide, so you can get a standard phone in there, even some of the bigger ones. But putting a tablet in, there's just no way to get a tablet in that clamp. So when that first came out, we thought, all right, the phones fit in there really well. You basically take your phone, you drop it in the top, you expand it like that, it nestles in the bottom, and you're ready to go. So all the modern phones fit in there just fine. You connect up your cable and you can start flying. So DJI did a great job for larger phones. The problem is, most flyers, especially new flyers, when they buy the drone, immediately start thinking about, man, I would love to have a big screen. The bigger the screen, the better, because I'm going to get a better view of exactly what I'm trying to film. And I know that seems like it makes sense, but once you start flying with a larger tablet, a 10 or a 12-inch tablet, you realize pretty quickly that the controller is balanced really well, and when you hang a big tablet off the top of it, it's really top heavy. It's going to pull away from you, and that fatigue on your wrist after a long day of flying, in most cases, outweighs that larger screen. So what I find most flyers doing is starting with a larger screen and then realizing, boy, that's really heavy and it's hard to bring along. I'm going to go to a smaller screen, and they usually end up in that what I call Goldilocks zone with an iPad mini, something this size, or a triple tech tablet, or even the new triple tech that's a little bigger than this, somewhere at an 8-inch screen, which is like the perfect screen size and weight and balance for your controller. But again, there still are people that love those larger tablets, so not one tablet holder fits all those different scenarios. And even though this one will hold everything you could possibly want to mount on a controller, it's overkill if you're going with something smaller like an iPad mini. So it's important when you settle on your tablet to decide which of these tablet holders works best for you. And I'm going to show you 3 of them that we've extensively tested, one of which we manufacture as a custom, and 2 of which we've tested and we work with the manufacturers to build. And all 3 of these I recommend, and I promise you that any one of these will hold the tablet perfectly and securely on your controller. Now again, if you've got a standard controller with a larger phone, no big deal, you can clamp it in there. But if you're going to fly with something like an iPad mini or a triple tech, we designed a very specific tablet holder for the controller that does a great job of hanging onto the tablet when you're out there to fly. And when we design products, we're flyers as well, so we don't like to spend a lot of time assembling a contraption that takes 10 minutes to attach it to your controller and then 10 minutes to break it down at the end of the day. I call that the Rube Goldberg syndrome, where you've got this sort of mousetrap kind of thing you've got to assemble in the field. I hate that. I want to get in the field, find a location that I want to fly, and spend as much time up in the air as possible and the least amount of time on the ground trying to fiddle around with stuff. So when we put together this tablet holder, the team sat down and said, look, can we make a really utilitarian tablet holder that's simple to use, that's heavy duty, that's small enough where you can throw it in your bag, it doesn't take up a lot of space, and that's exactly what we came out here with this Drone Valley tablet holder. And this one is really simple to use. I'll actually show you some close-ups on how to assemble it, but essentially what you've got is an aluminum tablet holder with a little wing on the back that spins around. And all you do is slide this wing like that down between those 2 bars and spin it just like that. Would that take me 5 seconds? And you're ready to go. And essentially what it's doing is extending that top grab up quite a bit, and this will fit a tablet up to the size of an iPad mini. So once it's on there, and it's on there securely, you can just pop your tablet in like that, slide it forward, and it nestles really well on top of the controller. And that's not going anywhere. That's not going to shake loose. And it's perfectly balanced too, where it's a little bit top heavy, but not terribly top heavy. And for me, that's the perfect flying scenario. So when I'm out flying the Mavic 3, really any of my drones, the iPad Mini 5 is the one that I'm going with. Now, the triple tech will fit in here as well. The challenge with the triple tech is that it's thicker and it's heavier. And it's really built to be sort of the most rugged tablet you could take out in the field. I feel like you could run over this thing with a tank and it would still survive that event. So I like that a lot. I like the brighter screen. I use it an awful lot in the field, and it will hold in here. But the challenge is that the buttons on that and the thickness of that actual protection around the outside really make it grip in there okay, but it's not as secure as the iPad mini. Now that's not falling out. People are gonna say, oh, it's loose in there. It's not really loose in there, it holds on. If you're not doing sort of gymnastics with it, you're gonna be fine. And I've got a lot of people that use this with the Triple Tech, but the truth is, the Triple Tech is a little bit too thick for it, so I'd recommend going to a little larger tablet holder like this or like that with the Triple Tech, even though I use it with the Triple Tech all the time. So that's the basic tablet holder for smaller tablets. Now, if you've got a bigger tablet, maybe you're flying with a tablet like this. This is an Android tablet I use on occasion when I'm flying, especially if I'm testing out new software and I want to kind of see all the screen and get all the real estate in there so I can see exactly what's going on. We've got this tablet holder. Now, what's interesting about this one, it stays on the controller. So it's designed to flip up and mount your tablet here, but you can fold this up, close it up, and put it back in your bag. You don't have to take it off. So I call it a semi-permanent mount where when you get it, when it first arrives, you sort of tighten it on top of that grip and it stays on the controller for the length of time you want to use it. Now you can certainly take it off if you want to. We don't recommend that because it takes up very little space and it matches the collar. It's perfectly aligned for the unit. And we work with the manufacturer to actually build this tech. And the way it works is you'll actually flip it up like this, and there's two places you can clamp your tablet. If you've got a big one right here, if you've got a smaller one, there are little arms that pop out right here that'll grip it even lower. So if you've got a big phone, you can grip it there. If you've got a smaller tablet. And the way this works, again, pretty simple. You hook it in those top two fingers, slide it down the bottom, and that tablet's not going anywhere. It's going to hold it really securely because it's clamped around that antenna on the top, and it doesn't put a lot of stress on those bars. One of the challenges we had with a lot of the tablet holders on the market is that they really were kind of a wonky angle where they stuck up really, really far. Some of the cheaper plastic ones, they stuck up really far. And when you slide your tablet in there, the torque on those two bars, the antenna bars, was so stressful in the back that over time, I'm afraid it's going to bend those bars and you're going to have a problem closing up that top clamp. This one has a minimum amount of angle with that tablet holder, so it's not going to destroy that clamp over time. Now, if you're using a really big tablet, which again, you must be a he-man out there in the field or a he-woman out there in the field, but I've seen people that use those gigantic tablets. They want as big a screen as possible, and I swear they would slap a VGA monitor on there if they could. That's a home run for you there. So this is our universal heavy-duty tablet holder. This will hold anything you have. There's two sets of clamps. There's one in the back if you're using a smaller tablet or a larger phone, and then there's a bigger one in the front that'll extend really, really far. So you can put almost anything you own in that tablet holder, and the way that works is it basically simulates what the phone's doing. So essentially, this looks like a phone. You're going to slide that into the holder on the top and slide it down like that. Now the tablet holder's in there nice and tight, and this gives you a ton of adjustments for viewing angle. So for example, right now, I could slide this larger tablet in there, and you just extend this like that, and you're good to go. And I've got a lot of adjustments of where I'm looking at it and at what angle I've got it. Do I want it flat? Do I want it up? And it does a really good job. This one also comes with a lanyard, so you can clamp it on there. The lanyard will hold it down. We have lanyards that'll work with these two guys as well as a separate product. But this one, to me, if you've got a really large tablet, and again, I can squash this down a little bit. Let me see if I can do that real quick before let me take the tablet out, so I'm not going to take any chances with that. But this gives you a lot of adjustments down, so you can actually have it smaller like that if you want, which is probably how you're going to use it more often than way up like I was showing it. But again, the point is you've got a lot of adjustments on where that screen is. It doesn't block the controls, which is one of the things we were really concerned about. Some of these that we tested overhung the controller enough where you couldn't actually see the controls. This one you can see is far enough back where you can get at the controls, you can see directly down and not have any issues with it. So I like this one an awful lot, but honestly, this may be overkill for most of your use cases out there because most of the people that are flying can get by with the small one. And again, my recommendation to anybody that's starting to fly is go with a tablet about this size, the iPad Mini 5. Whether you're an Apple fan or you're not an Apple fan, you buy an iPad Mini 5, it'll work with the controller, it'll work with the software, you're not going to have any issues with buffering or any of that nonsense, and it gives you a really nice little screen, 8-inch screen, that gives you a phenomenal view of what you're doing out in the field, and it can handle that streaming back from the drone. Now there's a ton of Android tablets that'll do that as well. It gets sticky when I start recommending things because people have favorites and they love this, they hate this, so I won't get into that. But for me, if you're asking me what tablet to go with, the iPad Mini 5 will work. The older iPad Minis don't work because the processor can't keep up with that streaming media coming back from the drone because they've upgraded it. In this case, you're getting 1080p media being streamed back. The older iPads can't handle that. But anyway, whatever tablet you go with, obviously you can go without it. Whoa, you can go without a tablet and just snap your phone in it. If you're going with a tablet this size or this size, this one will work pretty well for you. This will work excellent with the iPad Mini. That's actually what we designed it for. If you need a larger tablet holder, this is a great option. And if you need the monster tablet holder that'll hold pretty much anything you own, this is the one to go with. So we try to give you a good variety. And again, all three of these are ones that we test out in the field, and there's a bunch of flyers that work here at Drone Valley, and we're always sort of picking on each other about which tablet holder you're using. I have people on the team that actually fly with big tablets and love this one and pick on this one. Well, I like this one, so I'll pick on that one. But it's totally up to you which of these work for you. We have plenty of these in stock, and like I say every time, if you want to support the channel, I've got links below where you can go check them out on our website. We ship every day, we ship faster than Amazon, and we're based in New Jersey, so you're buying from somebody that's local. And that's pretty much it for today. So if you have any questions about any of these products I'm talking about today, drop those in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Now, if you stay tuned, next, I'm going to do a close-up and show you exactly how you attach these to the controllers, because a lot of times when they arrive, people are confused about, gee, how do I hold that on and how does this go on? So I'm putting 2 short videos at the end of this just to show you how you can attach these to your tablet. I should say attach these to your controller in case there's any confusion. And that's pretty much it for today. So again, thank you so much for watching. I love investigating products like this, and when we find ones that work and we can work with the manufacturer to have them built, we're good with that. If we can't find something that looks really cool and works really well, we'll design it ourselves. But we stand behind all the products we offer. So again, if you ever have trouble with it down the road, we'll be here to answer your questions and sort out any issues. So thanks again for watching. And until next time, I hope you found this valuable and happy flying. The Drone Valley tablet holder is a custom designed product that's really easy to use and incredibly durable. It's an all aluminum design. It's got rubber on the back to protect your tablet as well as rubber on the top to protect the edge. And to assemble it, you basically extend the clamp on the top of your controller, and then on the back of the tablet holder, you'll notice a little wing here that you can spin. You'll spin that up and down and place this on your clamp so that this hits the bottom of it just like this, and then flip it over and spin it this way, and that's what holds it to the 2 bars. And that's securely attached there now, and you can slide your tablet in here and expand it as needed and let it rest back in that position. When you're done at the end of the day and you want to remove it, you simply flip it over, spin that wing this direction, drop it out, put it in your bag, close up your controller, and you're done for the day. The larger tablet holder is very easy to assemble as well, and it provides 2 clamping options, one for larger tablets at the top and one for larger phones or smaller tablets at the bottom. Depending on what device you're using, you have a choice between those 2. Now, to add this to your controller is a pretty simple operation. You'll notice the bottom is split. What you're actually doing is tightening these 2 Allen screws and clamping this onto the top of your antenna posts. And to do that, you'll open up the clamp and notice on the top that there are actually 2 little extensions right here. You'll want to take them out, center it over top of your antenna posts, make sure you push it down all the way so it's definitely touching the surface. Close it with your fingers as best you can, then use the included tool to tighten these 2 Allen screws to actually clamp it onto the top of the antenna posts. And I usually vary a little bit of action between both of them. I'll start with one, then move to the next one, then move back to the first one. And slowly you'll see that tighten up on the antenna. Now don't over tighten these because again, you don't want to strip the screws, but make them nice and snug. Hang on to that tool in case you want to remove this later if this works loose. Now once that's attached, you're ready to go. If you have a larger tablet, you'll flip this one open, you'll clamp your tablet between here and the base. And if you have a smaller tablet or a larger phone, you can actually clamp it here between here and the base. And when you're done for the day, this stays on there permanently or semi-permanently. You close up the extension, flip this down over the top of your controller, and put it back in your bag. And what I like about this is it adds additional protection for your controller when you're traveling. So flipping it down like this protects all the buttons and things underneath, then you can slide it right into your bag. That's pretty much all there is to the installation.